We are continuing our series of the 6 cards in the suits of the Minor Arcana in the Sacred India Tarot. The meanings of the suits and the cards are the same as in any classical tarot, with some few wrinkles because they are operating from an Indian cultural perspective. That is all. But in tarot perspective, there is no difference whatsoever. So the Six of Arrows is very well known in tarot as being the card of earned success. The Six of Wands is called victory. The Six of Arrows is, yes, of course, there will be tremendous success, but you will not fly to the end point. You will have to grind over every centimeter of the ground before you get there. So, that aspect of this is not going to come for free and you will know the price that you have paid for it is very clear in this card. That is why they right at the beginning they have warned you, this is earned success, this is not. So the amount of work that will have to be done is very clear. Now when I started this Sacred India Tarot project, I got this card in the reading and I was very happy because this card is after all my personal card, it is my gateway. But at that time I didn't realize that that sheer magnitude of work and time scale that was going to come up. It took us 1 decade to bring it out. So the card was very clear about it and success. It has to be worked through. So in that sense, the sheer amount of effort that is required cannot be gainsaid. You would be doing a disservice if you told the person, no, things will be okay, it will work out easily. No, it won't work out easily. The person will have to hustle. The person will have to work very hard. And the work is going to be hard. This is also a card of transformation. This is a card of immense psychological transformation. This is a card of physical movement. So it's one of those really complex 6 cards. Even though all 6 the energy is up, in this case the earned success could happen because you moved to some place which required a lot of rearrangement of your work, because of your life, because you have to change, you have to give away things, you have to do things, you have to shift. So that the whole complexity of making a move at a physical level is clear. That complexity gets ramped up, amplified if you're going to make that move psychologically, if you're going to make that move spiritual. So that aspect is very clear in this card. This is also the card of breaking addictive patterns or breaking addictive behaviors. So in that sense, it's a very hopeful card. But very obviously it is because the person has really worked hard at overcoming the addictive pattern and the addictive behavior. No, but with this card comes, yes, it means it breaks. But the movement quality is very strong in this. Either it is a physical movement, or it is an emotional movement, or it is psychological or a mental. There is some aspect of change. There is some aspect of, you are at this point, now you have to go to that other point. That is very clear. That is very, very clear. Now, because of the sheer amount of effort required, this is not a very popular card. People are like, is there no easy way? And they are very happy to hear that you will go abroad or you will make a shift and you will get a promotion, but it will be in a different city. But they never think, what does it entail? What does it entail for me to do? So when this card comes up, the first question is, how much work do I need to do? Am I doing the amount of work that is needed? And how do I do that work in the most effective and efficient manner? You need to immediately ask yourself that question. Because very often this card indicates a situation with enormous payoffs, with enormous benefits, enormous rewards, but not right. And while the swords or the arrows do represent months in telling time, that's not necessarily in 6 months' time also. It means that the effort has to be done, the effort has to be done completely, and then it will play out over time. It will transform you over time. Now, these are not pleasant words for people who believe in pariharams and upais. They want some quick fix solution, and you tell them there is no quick fix solution, and there is really nothing from an outside perspective also that can be done. The person has to find a solution within themselves, within their own efforts, with their own efforts. Actually, that's not so difficult, because if you have any kind of experience as a tarot consultant or a tarot reader, you learn very soon. People know exactly what they need to do. People are well aware of what they are doing. They are well aware whether that is a worthwhile thing that they are doing or a pretty sad thing that they are doing, and they know exactly what they need to do to fix it also. They come to you in the hope that you will tell them, actually all that is not needed, here is magic potion and everything will transform. So this is the card of grind up against reality. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you cannot deceive yourself. Now this is a mental card, so it is a card of strong mental strength, a strong mental state, where you just face the facts squarely. This is what it is, this is reality, and I now have to accommodate, and I now have to move forward. It is usually a card of intellect also in that sense, because it is an air sign. The swords are the card of intellect. But it is a sort of harsh use of the intellect. It's like that is all bullshit. This is what is feasible. This is what is possible. It's not possible for you. So there is a certain quality of truth telling which is also rather hurtful. That very often it comes up, because the only way that the person will take on the reality of what they need to do is if it is communicated in words that can pierce, or it is communicated, the defenses, the emotional defenses, the mental defenses, the nostalgic defenses. So in that sense, there is a certain hardness to this card which is not found in the other. But again, it is the last suit in the psychological growth or the spiritual growth. Earth, water, fire, air, this comes at the end. And this is one of the high points. So, this is where you really got to stop kidding yourself. This is your reality. This is what is feasible. This is what is possible. This is how we move forward. You cannot live in sad dreams anymore. You cannot live in hope anymore. You have to live in the concrete aspect of what is transpiring. So, is it therefore a hard card? Yes. Is it an unfortunate card? Not at all. It's actually a very fortunate card, because the success is almost very clearly guaranteed. But with the proviso that it has to be earned. It will not come by fortuitous stroke of luck. It will be earned, and many people actually say, what is the point now? Getting this reward now. There is a point. You are making a mistake in thinking there is no point. But most people do not like to think that they have to earn it, because it's very interesting that the card is not called deserved success. The card is called earned success, because that sense of entitlement that is so clearly there in most people. People feel, I deserve. Why don't I? Why does that person get and not me? All that is entitlement. All that is a sense of I am deserving. I alone am deserving. No, you are deserving when you have earned it. So it follows effort. It follows sensibility. It follows good sense. So in that sense, yes. In that sense, it is a direct challenge to the human being confronting this card. But in spiritual terms, this is a very magnificent card, because it means that you're going to break through. So, while it's not a really popular card in the tarot, it's actually overlooked. People don't realize the communication, the significance of this card is very deep. Yeah? Sarvam.